Hello everybody. Today I'll be giving you an introduction to process simulation using Aspen Plus. If you have seen my previous video, I would have given you a brief demonstration of the simulation of the vapor compression refrigeration cycle using Aspen Plus for the refrigerant propane. What I'm going to do right now instead is I'm going to give you a basic intro to the process simulation itself using Aspen Plus, of course. So what I'm going to simulate here is simply a compressor. The compressor can be uh, drawn in the flow sheet window using the block that's present under the pressure changers, and then we give it two streams, that is the input stream as well as the output stream. So how the process simulation here works is that we have to specify inputs for those streams which have no sources. In this case, stream 1 has no source, but stream 2 has a source, which is the compressor block. Okay, before we go any further, let me rename this as the compressor block. Yes. So what we do now for simulating a compressor is that we go to the data browser and then we go to the components. I've used an air separation template. So what components we have is that we have nitrogen, oxygen, and argon. This is okay. This is what we require. Will be simulating it for air. So, and then we go to the streams. As you can see here, there's a red semicircle here. It means that the input specifications have not been completed and we have to give it some specifications. So I give it an initial temperature of 50 degrees Celsius and a pressure of 1 bar. Sorry. And then the total flow can be anything. I'm giving it 1 kilomole. Since I'm using it as an air, since the component is supposed to be air, I'll be giving it the normal air's composition, which is 79% of nitrogen and 21% of carbon, oxygen. Sorry, and then it's by default 0 for argon, so you don't have to fill in specifically for that. And then we go to the blocks, and then we go to the compressor, and we'll be using an isentropic compressor for this. We can actually specify many output specifications for this compressor. We'll be using discharge pressure here. I'm giving it a pressure of 50 bar. The isentropic efficiencies can be anything. Here I'm giving zero point 0.9 isentropic efficiency. Mechanical efficiency, if not specified, is by default 1. You can see what's written here. That's what is mentioned. I'm giving it a zero point 0.8 efficiency. Now that we have actually completed, we can run the simulation. So the results are available as can be seen here. The same thing could have been accomplished by pressing this next button. Instead, I've used the start button. It makes no difference. For example, let me reinitialize the simulation using the button, and now let me use this next button. It's asking me for a title. It's not necessary, but we can give it any title. I'll give it simulation 1. And then now we click the next button, and it's asking if we can run the simulation. Yes, I'm running it. Okay, there are no errors nor any warnings issued. So I go to the results and then stream results. So we can see that the pressure of stream 2 has reached 50 bar, and this is what we needed. And then if we go to the compressor block, we have a lot of results like the horsepower indicated and brake. And you can see obviously the temperatures are gonna be different because the efficiencies are not one. Okay. Now that we have actually completed all this, I'll give you a brief intro of using sensitivity block for the same flow sheet, that is the compressor block. So we go to the data browser and then we go to the model analysis tools and then the sensitivity. We create a new sensitivity tool. So what the sensitivity actually does is that, for example, we have an interest in the outlet stream's temperature, but then we need based on the change in the input stream's pressure. So if this is our interest, what we do is we add a flow sheet variable. In my case, I'm interested in actually measuring the temperature of stream 2. So I'm giving it a variable as temp2, and then I go to the edit. Since this is a stream variable, it will be under the stream variable, and then this is yeah, stream 2, and since it's temperature, I give it the variable temp. Yeah, now what I'm interested is that I want to vary the pressure of the inlet stream and see what happens. So I'm going to the stream variable. This is stream 1, and then the variable is pressure here. So we go to pressure. So I want to vary this in the range of zero point 0.1 to 60 bar with an increment of 1 bar. Wow. So we click fill variables. What this does is that it's asking us to what variables we require as results from the sensitivity block. So I require temperature 2 as a result. Now that we have completed our sensitivity block, we just run the simulation. So there are no warnings nor any errors. So we go to the results. So we go to the model analysis tools, sensitivity, and so this is what we actually get. So as you can see here, as we vary the input pressure from 0.1 to 60 bar with an increment of 1 bar, this is how the temperature of the stream output stream varies. So if we require any graphical representation of this, what we do is we click this and then we go to plot. We use this as the x variable because this was independent and this was the stream 1 that we intended to change, and then we give this to be the y axis variable, and then we plot. So this is the plot. As we increase the pressure, the temperature increase the pressure of the inlet stream, the temperature of the outlet stream keeps on decreasing. Well, this is actually is not of much use for a single block system as we used in our case. Here we are simply used to compress a block. There is absolutely no use of the sensitivity analysis, but then I just wanted to give you a brief intro to sensitivity. So I hope you have learned something new on this, and I hope to meet you in the next upcoming tutorial.